Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Self-Love Society. This is the podcast for people who are on the journey of self-discovery and wellness with a dash of foolishness sprinkled on top. This is a safe place to learn, laugh, and discover your own individual path. Let's start the show.
Hey guys,
What it do?
it is Sidekick, Nkiru, the Love Guru.
And this is Tony Gillen, licensed professional counselor.
Yay, he remembered his accolades.
I actually almost fumbled it. For a second, so.
No, you're not supposed to tell them that.
Yes.
How are you doing, T?
Lord. You know what? I'm doing okay.
I'm doing okay.
I'm doing okay. Had a really good weekend. Threw a little surprise shindig for my lady. And Nkiru the Love Guru showed her face.
I did. It was wonderful.
Had a great time. Yeah, I had a good weekend. My kids, they were out of town with their mom over the weekend, and so they're back. So I was just happy to see them. So I'm doing okay. How about yourself?
I'm doing pretty good. Ask me why.
Why?
Cause I got my AC fixed in my house.
Yes, we are sitting here nice and cool.
Yeah, my AC went out and we was in here and some baked potatoes up in this.
Look, I felt like I was in a Spike Lee movie. You know, in Spike Lee movies, everybody look like they hot. Everybody's sweating. Yeah, everybody was just hot. That's how I felt when I came over here.
But I'm so happy because I got my AC fixed. I'm very excited and happy about just everything right now. Like life is, I like the pace of my life right now. I like that I am getting into a rhythm and a flow. I'm not rush anymore. I know I used to have a big issue as far as like, because I'm a list person, you know what I mean? Like completing everything on the list, and you know, gotta hurry up and gotta get it done. Now it's just like, if it doesn't get done, I'll do it next time. And I really like that. I really enjoy that. I'm finally getting into my rhythm of just allowing and being grateful for what it is that I can do in the day, and letting whatever be whatever it's gonna be. It's more of a peaceful existence.
You're worrying about the things you have control over, and the other
That's
things
right.
you are just letting it be.
That's right.
Yeah. That's a great way. That's a great way to take away some stress from you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Especially if you are an overthinker like myself, or you are a person who is really into making to-do lists or check off lists or things like that. Finding some balance, understanding that you cannot plan life. Life happens while you're planning things.
Yeah.
And when you figure that out and you realize that the world doesn't stop spinning on its axis, and the world doesn't implode into a million pieces if you don't complete things in the time frame that you have magically set up in your mind, it becomes a lot more enjoyable, you know. So I was excited.
Yeah.
That's
That's good. Yeah, you know, everything, like I said, you have to worry about the things you have control over, and you know, you have a lot on your plate, and it actually sometimes people who are more go with the flow, sometimes they need a little bit more rigidity, and some people who are more rigid need more go with the flow.
Very true.
You need a good balance of that.
Yes.
You know, it's about taking that pressure off of yourself and being able to do what you need to do.
Yes.
You know. So yeah. What's some thoughts so far?
My first thought is Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day to me. Yes.
Yes.
Happy Father's Day. You know what?
No, I know you know what. Happy Father's Day.
No, thank you.
We not
I
gonna
appreciate
just listen. Tony is a father to so many different ways, but he has two lovely little boys and one beautiful chocolate baby girl, and he is a phenomenal father. I
try my best.
He is a phenomenal father, y'all, and so we not gonna go no further without saying that on Father's Day.
Yeah, of course.
Shoot, talking about some. You know what? No, you know what? You go.
Well, I was thinking like, what do I have planned? I was thinking like, I don't know. I don't have anything planned. Me personally, I don't really care that much about holidays.
I know, but my thing is like certain things.
Except Christmas. Christmas, I care about Christmas. I love Christmas. Other than that, other holidays, I just be like, I'm just gonna work and call it a day.
I feel like certain holidays should be acknowledged. Personally, I feel a personal responsibility for Father's Day. I always felt this way. Well, one, my father's gone, so there's that.
Mm-hmm.
Happy Father's Day to my dad in heaven.
Yes,
but
happy Heavenly Father's Day.
Yes, happy Heavenly Father's Day. But I feel like in the black community, fathers get the shitty end of the stick always. And I feel like every opportunity that we get to praise fathers that are fathers, we should take that. I feel like because mothers in black families are heavily matriarchal led, Mother's Day is always a big thing. You know what I mean? It's always gigantic. And Father's Day is always like, did we miss that already? Like, no one ever knows what weekend it is. People always forget what's going on. It's like this last minute situation. And I feel like we should celebrate fathers more.
It's not as revered. It's not as...
It sucks.
Yeah, it's just like, I don't know why that is. I wonder, I mean, the easy answer is to say, well, you have a lot of absent fathers and single parent homes, have a lot of single mothers, and so Father's Day isn't necessarily revered because of that. But I just feel like it's something bigger. Because
the thing about it is, yes, there are a lot of absent fathers, but let me be real. My generation, as of late, I want to say at least as of the last 5 years, we'll just keep it here. 5 years, I've seen more present fathers than I've seen absent fathers.
Yeah.
And I feel like that trend is shifting, but no one is really truly acknowledging that. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like there are a lot of fathers that are fathers, and there are a lot of fathers who step in to be fathers for kids that are not theirs. And that needs to be highlighted. Like, there are a lot of men who are out here being father figures to these children, whether they have a father, whether they need extra assistance, any of that. And I feel like that is something that we don't talk about. We still hurt over the wound of a lot of the fathers walking away, that we don't realize that there are a lot of people who stayed. And there are a lot of people who are picking up the pieces of what was left behind. And it wasn't them who broke the thing to begin with. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I totally agree. I think that it gets kind of overgeneralized.
Yeah.
And it's almost like you have to prove that you're a good father. Like,
I hate that.
You automatically assumed, especially when you talk about the court system, you have to fight for your right to be a father, whereas a mother just gets to be a mother. And I think for a lot of men, it's very defeating. It's a lot of anxiety that comes with it, because you're like, man, I gotta make sure I have an attorney. I gotta make sure that I'm showing that I can take care of the children, and it's so much that you have to do as a quote unquote because most fathers are gonna be the non-custodial parent.
Yeah.
And so you have to prove so much, and then that's just in the court. Now you have to deal with the woman's emotions behind everything. If she hasn't necessarily dealt with you all not working out, or she hasn't dealt with her emotions with that, sometimes that bleeds over into the courtroom, and now you have to fight that and the court, the government. So it can be very defeating for a man to go through all that. And then that's just that, but then you add in what you probably deal with on a daily. You're trying to get your children and the mom is getting in the way, or you're trying to spend more time with them doing A, B, and C, and you have to deal with the fact that the mom doesn't want you to see them, or mom maybe makes you look bad or talks about you badly. And so you have this mountain of
trials,
trials and tribulations to go through just to be a dad. And you know what?
I just feel like, why is that not celebrated? You know what I mean? Like, think about how the mountain you have to climb just to even be called a dad.
You know, honestly, I would say over the last few years, I actually understand. Now, I know this is not a popular opinion, but I understand men just walking away from not only the mom but the children. I understand it now.
Yeah.
Because I think, not in all cases, because there are some men who just don't even care and they just move on.
Right.
I think in a lot of cases, sometimes the government and the child support and dealing with the woman and her feelings and her emotions over everything going on with the children, sometimes that can be so much to where it's just easier to just walk away. And a lot of men are not willing or not able to fight all that. Yeah. Because now you got to fight all that. You got to fight your own issues that you have. So you're trying to fight your issues and everything else is being piled on top. A lot of men cannot handle that. Right. And so it's easier for some men to say, you know what, I'm going to worry about myself and I'm going to get myself together. I'm going to go do my own thing because this is not working out for me. And they leave. And then hopefully they hope that the kids come back around when they get older. But by that time, the kids then been conditioned by the mothers and the mother's family that their father was a deadbeat or this sperm donor. Yeah. And they grow up not having any respect for that man. And then they grow up and they reach out to the man and they say, hey, why weren't you around? And the man can't even really fully articulate it because they've already been conditioned so much from the mother side to where it's like, I'm fighting your mom all over again. You know? So I would say going through my own situation, you know, my daughter, I told you before that she's not biologically mine. And I know her dad left. And going through what I'm going through, it actually helped me to understand a little bit more. It helped me to be more empathetic and maybe have more compassion for her father leaving, because who knows what he was dealing with when he, you know. I'm a person I'm a patient. I would say I'm a healed individual. I'm a patient individual. I have a very easygoing demeanor about me and a good head on my shoulder. Every man can't say that. And so I can only imagine going through what I'm going through. And having other things. Yeah, but then what if I was just like, maybe, what if I wasn't a healed individual? What if I had a lot of struggles going on and now you add on this? I might have walked away too. Yeah. You know, and so it helped me to just be like, okay, let me hear the man out. Let me see, maybe let me not have so much vitriol for him because it might have been that type of situation for him. That's very true. You know, and I think that even those men should be celebrated as well too, you know, for Happy Father's Day.
I feel like everyone should be celebrated. A father is a father, you know what I mean? Just like when people be like, a mother is a mother. Like, I feel like there's this war that's going on, and at some point, you gotta be able to say, you gotta be able to look at what it is, and say, okay, don't you think that they had enough? Like, when you gonna allow the men to breathe just a little bit? You know what I mean? Like, you're just beating the hell out of them. Yeah. Every chance you get, it's like, I don't understand it, and I just really and truly hope and wish that people would take their own hurt out of situations and really look at them for what they are. Because you're hurting more than just that man. I'm going to put it to you that way in the situation. Mm-hmm. And like a lot of people say the phrase, my mama was my mama and daddy.
I hate that. I hate that. I hate when a woman says I'm the mom and the dad, or a child says she's the mom and the dad. No, she's not the dad. She's the mom. Yeah. She's the mom. Yeah. We don't have to make it bigger. We don't have to make it smaller. She's the mom. Yeah. You didn't. If your dad wasn't around, you did not have a dad. Mm-hmm. Because your dad presents a whole different type of energy in a relationship. Mm-hmm. You don't have that, and so it's okay. It's not okay, but it is what it is. But you can't make a woman substitute. Be a father. Yeah. Yeah, that's not the same thing.
So I bring that up because I wanted to ask you. I'm sorry, y'all. We'll get into the journal prompts.
I know. I'm like, hold on. We need to go back.
Well, we will, but I just wanted to ask this before we move off of it because we're in a flow. Your opinion your pitch. Your pitch. Give me the importance of black fathers.
The importance of black fathers. I would say that black fathers are not only the foundation of the family, but they are the foundation of the community. I think that having black fathers around increases economic empowerment. It increases education. It increases discipline within a given group of people. When you have a man when you have a black father who is the patriarch of the family that is well respected, I think that family has order.
Yeah.
When we talk, I talk a lot about, not prehistoric, but like early man. When we think about African tribes, we talk about when there was a dispute among the family, the tribe, they would go to the elder, which was oftentimes a black man. Mm-hmm. And they would bring their dispute to that man, and he would decide. And everyone had enough respect for that man to say, okay, that's what we're going to do. Mm-hmm. We're going to let this go because he decided that. I think when you have a black father that is a rock in a place, a voice of reason, I think you have the foundations to be a successful people. And so I think black fathers are super important, not only to their families, but to the community.
What do you think that we, in this day and age, with modern women, I use quotations, heavy quotations on that, what can we gain from having a two-family household, an active black father in a situation? What can we gain from that? And what needs to be done in that relationship to maintain maintain a two-family household? Is there something that needs to happen with women, or do you feel like no? Or
so the first question, what was the first question?
What do you think that we can gain from having a black family? Because there's a lot of women.
Black family, like a
black
mother and father.
Yeah, because there's a lot of women who don't really necessarily feel like it's necessary. My mama was a single woman. Yeah. I could be a single woman. You know what I mean?
I think that the single parent household has been normalized.
Yeah.
To where it's almost like, and I notice this with women, like sometimes they'll have a father for their children that the father of the children will still be around and still taking care of the child, but the mother will still proclaim themselves as a single mother. And it's almost like I see that it's almost like a badge of honor. Like you see on social media, when I start seeing women say it's just about me and my kids at this point, it's like I start to see the pushing away of the black father.
Yeah.
And I think that in order for us to continue to have healthy relationships, I think first both people have to put their pride aside.
Yeah.
I think anything that you're struggling with, I believe in therapy. I think that everyone should go to therapy and work through their internal thoughts, their internal law, like that they go by, their thought process. I think you need to challenge that to see what it is. Is there anything in there that's not working out for me? I need to work through those things. Black men as well. I think we all need to go through those. We need to go through therapy and get some counseling. I think that even when you're dating, I think that once you commit to another person and you all are like exclusively dating, I think counseling should become a regular part of the courting process, of the dating process, because I think that I look at counseling like getting your oil change. Like your car doesn't have to be broke down for you to take it to the shop. You take it to the shop, get your oil change to keep it running smoothly.
Right.
And I think consistent counseling in a couple
is an oil change.
Actually, it's like getting an oil change. This is making sure that everybody's still on the same page, making sure that we work through issues healthfully, maybe we don't even, maybe the therapist brings up something that we didn't even think about.
Yeah.
And now it brings something to the forefront. Like, oh, maybe we need to talk about this more.
I'm glad we caught this before it became an issue.
Yeah. Like, don't wait till y'all done with each other till you go to counseling.
Don't wait till you run out of gas to try to look for a gas station.
Yeah, don't wait till the engine fall out to actually do something about your car. Like, no. You should have. You heard that noise under the hood. You know that wasn't normal.
You know damn well you heard that.
You know you wasn't happy by what that man said, or man, you know you wasn't okay with what she did, and you just let it keep going. Like, no, let's maintain this relationship so that it can both go in the right direction. And so I definitely think that the big thing I think is people have to appreciate each other. Mm-hmm. I think that we live in a culture that it's almost like it's like a sign. It's like people frown upon you valuing somebody.
What do you expound upon that?
So I hear a lot of people say, I ain't begging nobody for their attention. I'm not begging nobody for love. Mm-hmm. If they don't want to be with me or if they want to act this way, then I'm not even. It's like everyone has this prideful stand where they don't want to humble themselves.
Yeah.
They don't want to submit themselves to each other. And people, you hear submit, people automatically think slavery. Like, no. Submitting is saying that I value you, mm-hmm. and I want to do whatever is necessary to make sure you know that, mm-hmm. and foster a healthy relationship with you.
Now, what's the line there?
What's the line?
Yeah, is there a line where you shouldn't do that?
I think first, before you submit yourself to someone, you talking about submitting?
Well, not necessarily. I guess submit or value. I was really talking about the value.
I think that if you valuing someone else devalues you, mm-hmm. I think that's a too high of a price.
I feel like you should repeat that.
If valuing someone else devalues you, that was too steep of a price. You should not do that. Like if you saying, you know what, I'm going to listen to you, I'm going to follow you, and I'm going to be there to support you. But you know that person's not going to do the same for you. You know that man is cheating on you, or you know that woman is not going to give you any appreciation in return. I think that valuing that person actually is a detriment to you.
I think that's important.
Because you're pouring, like you talk about pouring from your overflow. If you're basically pouring from an empty pitcher. Yeah. In that case, in which you're going to be empty and they're going to be full. Yeah. And they're still not going to appreciate you. I've been in that situation. And so important. I think that people, I tell my lady this. I told her this when we first started dating. I was like, I think a relationship works really well when both people are trying to out appreciate each other. Yeah. I think when my goal is to appreciate you and make you feel like you're valuable, and you're doing the same for me, man. You're
always full.
Yeah, we always full.
You always win. You're always winning, right? I agree with that so much. Like, you're always winning, and it's a thing. I put up a post. I think it was a couple of days ago. I don't remember when.
And that's not to say that someone else is in charge of your happiness. Like,
Very
that's
true.
Different. You're supposed to be in charge of your own happiness. Another person is supposed to add to that, and so another person shouldn't be taken away from your happiness.
Facts.
You know, and so I do want to make that known here. Like, I'm not saying that you're sniffing others in charge of making sure you're happy. No, you're in charge of making sure you're happy.
Facts.
You know, but your sniffing others should be adding to that happiness that you're already experiencing.
I put up a post a couple of days ago, and it says, I stopped buying stock in people who yield little to no return on my investment. Audit your portfolio. Mm-hmm. I think that's so important. I woke up... I do meditation and prayer in the morning. That was what was given. That was what was given to me that day, and it just hit me a different kind of way. You know what I mean? Like, we invest so much in people who do not invest anything into you, and we feel like since we've been investing in this for so long, you know, I've been investing in GE all my life. Mm-hmm. I've been investing in Boeing all my life. My grandma invested in Boeing. Of course I'm going to invest in Boeing. It's like, yeah, but what has Boeing ever done for you? What has GE ever done for you? And don't tell me, oh, they gave you a half of a percent of a penny in 10 years. Like, is that really worth the amount of the investment that you've been giving to these people? You know what I mean? Like, when people are yielding that little of anything in return to you, it's like, what are we doing? You know what I mean? And why are you doing this? Are you doing this more so because you've been doing it for so long? For the look of it? Like, what is your real reason why you're doing this? And why you are still attaching yourself to people. So I feel like a lot of that behavior, what you called it, what'd you call it, pride? No, you didn't call it pride. What'd you call it?
It's pride and ego.
Yeah, but you called it something. What'd you call it? When they feel like they too good to say that they shoot.
I just said prideful.
Prideful, but you said something. It was a statement that when they feel like they too good to say.
Oh, like say they value you, like.
Yeah, like when they say like that whole. People.
Like I'm not gonna beg.
That was it. I feel like people get to that point to where they feel like they have to say, I'm not gonna beg for nothing. I'm not gonna chase nobody. I'm not gonna, because
I ain't chasing nobody.
Because they have already invested so much in that thing already, and they have gotten to the point to where that thing has broken them beyond repair, and now their emotions are damaged.
Yeah.
That they feel they have to say things to make them feel stronger than what they are. That's what I really honestly think at that point.
Yeah.
Because
I can understand that.
I honestly feel like that always comes from a hurt place.
Yeah.
I don't feel like it comes from a healed place ever. Like, I feel like that person is always hurting. That's saying that. That's not a person that's just like healthy and healed and like. Because when you're moving on, you ain't got to announce your exit. You just going to exit.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Once you're done, you're just going to be done. You don't have to make an announcement. You don't have to say anything.
You almost don't want to make an announcement because you don't want to have any further conversation about it.
Right.
Your decision is already made.
Right. That's why, like, when people go on social media and they be like, I'm deactivating my page because I need a break. Like, just deactivate it. What you got to announce it for?
I hate that.
Just deactivate it and just go about your life.
I hate that, and I hate when they announce when they back. I hate all of that because they coming back.
You coming back? What you announcing it for? We gonna see your post, and we gonna be like, oh damn, you back? You ain't gotta announce it.
You only gonna be gone maximum 30 days.
Right. The last few times I deactivated my pages, I just deactivated. I just drifted off in the darkness. And I'm like, man, what happened to Tony? I noticed you ain't. And honestly, a lot of times if you do it that way, you'll realize that some people didn't even care.
Yep.
They didn't even notice you was gone. They didn't even know you was gone. You'd be like, dang, So, but yeah, I definitely think that I've definitely had my, I've had situations where someone I was with would say something like, I'm not going to chase you. If they want to leave, they can leave. And it's like, if I cared a lot about a woman and she felt a certain way about our relationship, then that's where I submit myself. If it's something that I'm not putting my value behind someone else's value, but I'm man enough to sit here and say, okay, I value you. Obviously, there's something going on in this relationship that you are having an issue with. What can I do to fix it? Yeah.
Especially if it's not, I feel like people get a misconception of what chasing is. I don't feel like it's chasing if a person is, your person that you are with is hurting or they're bothered or, they're having an issue in the relationship and you humbling yourself to say, okay, I'm going to do my part of resolving this issue is not chasing a person. That is you being an active participant in a relationship. Yeah. I feel like people feel like relationships are meant to be a situation where a person is just catering to you, the whole time and whatever you want in the whole time. And that's just not what it is. A relationship is a give and take. A relationship is a balance and a compromise. That's what a relationship is. It's taking two uniquely, wonderfully made individuals and having them coexist as one. Do you know how freaking crazy that's like? Do you know how insane that is? That's an art. Putting two completely different individuals together and letting them walk and become a whole new thing as one.
Yeah.
Because they're still themselves apart, but when they come together, they become a new creature together.
Yeah.
That's you can't just shove things together and make it a new creature. Trust me, the government has tried. Yeah.
It takes work. To become one. When two people become one, it takes a lot of work.
Yes, it does.
It takes people having to shed a little bit of themselves.
Yes, and
like
compromise.
not saying that you stop being who you are, but you learn to allow another person to fill areas of your life that maybe they're better at. I've heard of people who they struggle with what?
Sorry.
Oh, they struggle with. Maybe money management, but one person doesn't. Maybe one person know how to take care of money. So then they put that person in charge of that. And they say, okay, I'm not even going to worry about it no more. You got one person who's like a bill person, who's on top of bills. Or you got a person that's on top of like a schedule, like keeping the house together and making sure things are good on the house. So then you're not good at that. Okay, I'm going to let you handle that. And I'm going to handle what I'm good at. And then you become one person instead of two people. Okay.
What's one thing you're good at? One thing you... hoping that a mate would be good at for you?
I am good at saving.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I'm good at saving money. I think most men are good at saving money. I could be wrong.
Like, you know what I thought popped in my head the second you said that?
What?
Is his name Julius? Off of Everybody Hates Chris, the daddy.
Oh, the dad, yeah. He's like, hold on. You spend $6.66 on groceries here. Why are we spending all this on Canva? Yeah, I'm not like that. I'm not cheap. I'm not a cheapskate.
That's not cheap. That's just money management.
That's very rigid money management. I'm not that rigid.
The cheap part was when
I'm an easygoing person. Like I spend my money, but I'm always about trying to save. Like if anything, like I'll get paid, and I'll take a large chunk of my money and put it in a savings account, and then I'll try to live off whatever I left for myself, and then I end up having to dip into it, but it's better than me just putting a little bit and then like under saving. So I try to save as much as I can because I feel like I can live off a certain amount. So like I'm the type of person. Just use an example. What if I get paid $1,800 on my paycheck? Right? I'll take $1,000 to put it in savings.
It's a challenge. The way you smile. The way you smile, and you like it's a challenge.
Yeah, it's like a challenge. Like okay. 1,000 savings, gone. All right, make 800 work. Okay, I'm gonna pay half of this bill. I'm a type of person. I pay half my bills every paycheck.
Oh, that's smart.
And then okay, I'm gonna take this, and I might even try to save more. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna charge myself even more. I'm gonna take 200 more out, and I'm gonna save that, and I'm gonna try to live off 200 for the next 2 weeks. It don't work all the time,
but it's a good thing.
It's just like trying, and so I end up saving more than I would have had I been like, okay, I'm just gonna save $500 because I feel like if I have it in my checking account, I'm gonna want to spend it. But if it's in my savings, I'm gonna think about like, ooh, I gotta transfer that. Do I really want to do that? Right. And so it makes me think about it more. So I would say that's one thing that I'm really good at is saving, and I'm somewhat good on being organized. I like my house to be organized. One thing I'm not good at is probably taxes. I'm not really good at taxes. I'm not really good at. I'll say this. This is funny. I am terrible at cleaning bathrooms.
Why in particular?
For some reason, bathrooms just give me a nauseous feeling.
Oh, well, I can understand that.
And so it takes a lot for me to just clean a bathroom. I'll clean the kitchen all day. I'll clean the living room all day. I'll keep my room clean.
He said, give me the rest of the house.
The rest of the house, I got it. Bathroom.
No, ma'am.
So if you could take care of the bathrooms and keep the shared areas.
And get the taxes together.
Get the taxes in the bathroom. We good. We good.
We in the money. See, you don't need that much. Listen.
Right. What about you? What is something you good at and something that you need
something that
with?
I am good at. I feel like I am very good at, I'm a very encouraging person.
Okay.
I feel like I'm very good at that. I'm very good at nurturing.
Okay.
And like uplifting and encouraging people, and I'm sorry, y'all.
No, it's okay.
Okay. Uplifting and encouraging people. I'm very good at that. I feel like I am a, what's the word? Like I hate to use the word pusher because then people think I'm like a drug dealer.
You're slanging.
No, but I'm like a motivator. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like I feel like I'm really good at that, and I think that I'm very good at coming up with good ideas and strategies and things of that nature. Problem solving, stuff like that. I feel like that I'm really good at that. Outside of the basic, girl stuff. You know what I mean? I feel like those are qualities that I feel like that stand out a little bit more than, cook, clean, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But I think that I'm very good. Like those are my phenomenal traits. Some of my phenomenal traits.
Mm-hmm. What about the areas that your partner needs to be good in?
Child. I'm tell you right now. Please know something about these cars. Cause I wouldn't know a thing. Let me tell you
that. You're gonna keep driving, huh?
First of all, I'm just not good. I'm not good. Okay, I'm not good at cars. Anything that has to do with a car at all. Driving the car, knowing nothing about the car because I don't care.
Okay.
I've never been. You know how people be like, "Oh, I want a Mercedes. I am not that girl. I don't care. Does it have windows that I don't have to crank like a jack in the box to lay up and down? Does when I turn the key, it turns on and I do?
Does it get me to where I need to go?
Does it get me where do I need to go? Does it have tires on it that won't have me flattened on the side of the road? Mm-hmm. Does it have AC and heat? Listen, these is the bare minimum. People be like, those is the bare minimum. That is literally all I need. That's all I need. I don't know the differences between cars. You know this for a fact. I can look at a car and don't even know the car that I'm supposed to be looking at. I can't even recognize cars from cars.
Yeah.
So this is how much I don't care about cars. So I'm annoyed with cars. And cars need a lot of work and stuff. You know what I mean? I just be over it. I just really do. I be so over it. If I never had to drive a car ever again in life, I'd be happy. I really would. I'd be the wife with the map, making the sandwiches on the side, and telling the kid I'm that person all damn day. Listen, I'm that person all day. Listen, that would be amazing to me. And what else is a good thing? I don't know how to describe it, but I feel that my partner needs to come with some sort of, you probably can fix what I'm trying to say better than what I'm saying it. You know how men just kind of have vision?
Sometimes.
They have, okay, but you can't help me neither. But you know how men just kind of have a plan? This is what we're doing?
Yeah.
Okay, this is what we're doing.
Yeah.
That is important. You got that.
Need direction.
I don't need direction.
Well, not need, a strong word, but
I don't need any of it. However, if I'm going to be a partner, if I'm going to have a partner, that's what I would prefer. I would prefer to have a partner that has a plan, you know what I mean, and a vision and things that of course I have my own plan and vision for my own life.
You want them to have one too, so you all can help each other.
Yes, not only that we can help each other, but also I would like for him to be able to say, okay, I should have my own plan and vision. My partner should have his own plan and vision. And then what I mean is my partner has a plan and vision for what we are together as a unit, as a budding new family, whatever. They have a plan and vision in mind. So that way when we're like, okay, what are we doing? It's not just, I don't know what you think we should do. No, come to the table with knowing something, what you gonna do. You know what I mean? I feel like it's like a man thing. Like, I don't know the words for it. Like, it's like a man thing. It's like a,
Well,
I hate to use all the words that I'm thinking. I don't want to say them because I feel like people will take them out of context. But it's like having a level of protection and authority over the situation. You know what I mean? Not saying that I'm trying to be a slave or a pick-me-sha or subservient. It's just that I feel like if I am going to be uniting with another individual, it takes a lot of stress off of my mind if I'm not carrying this other grown person also. Before we even get to the point of thinking about
that's
children.
holding their weight.
Yes.
You want someone who has goals and that they're trying to achieve them.
Drive.
Because one thing that encourages you with your partner is to see them working, towards their goals too. It actually it instills in you the desire to make your goals work.
Yeah,
too.
I'm a person.
It's like a healthy competition.
I am that in every way.
Yeah.
This is what I was saying, like, when I say I'm a pusher. You know what I mean? Like, I like to compete. You know what I mean? So, especially if my partner is similar to me. You know what I mean? If I'm doing something, my partner is also interested in it. My partner also has this drive to do this thing too. Yeah. Then I'm going to be like, and not only that, I was a tomboy growing up. You know what I mean? So it's like very much that mindset, anything you can do, I can do also. You know what I mean? So if my partner is out here killing it, then it's like, okay, my partner's doing this. I know that I can do this. I can try. I can do it. It's almost like pushing it's iron sharpening iron, pushing the best out of you. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I can't be with nobody who just pulls nothing out of me. Mm-hmm. What's the point in that?
Yeah. It's how can you be a better version of yourself if the person you're spending so much time with is not bringing that out of you. You know, you just basically sitting still. Oh, your dog farted again? Yes.
She sleep.
Oh, so I can't even be Get mad. Out of here. Put her in a cage or something. Why she got to be over here next to us?
Jeez.
Man. But yeah, I totally agree. You know, I think that having a woman who has her own goals, but at the same time is willing to push you to meet your goals, like, that's great, because I know the type of man I am. I'm going to encourage. I'm going to be interested in what they're interested in,
right? And
I'm going to push her, her to do whatever she needs to do. And it's great to have a woman that does the same for you.
Yeah.
And not like a woman who's forcing you. Like, I've been in relationships where a woman wants you to do something, and so they nag you to do it.
I don't want that.
Instead of saying, okay, maybe that right now that's not where their head's at. So let me find out where you're at.
Because the thing about it is, what I mean is, if I have dreams and goals, and you have dreams and goals, me seeing you going after your dreams and goals is going to inspire me to go after mine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But if you don't have nothing, your only dream and goal is to make it to Friday so you can go out.
Yeah.
What the fuck am I gonna do with that? Like, I can't with that. Mm-hmm. And I'm not trying to down anybody who that's their dreams and goal. It's just like, for me, that's not it for me.
Yeah, yeah, I totally agree with that. So I think that, like I said, you have to find someone who makes you a better version of yourself. So
yeah.
So let's go back to the beginning.
Let's go back to the start.
Let's talk about the Affirmations and Journal Prompts from last week. You want to start with the affirmations?
Yeah. So last week's affirmations were as follows: I am enough. I am striving for what is best for me, and I am worthy of all I desire, flaws and all.
What you think about those?
I'm striving for what is best for me. That's what I think.
That's the one that spoke
to you the most? That's the one. That's the one right there. I feel like a lot of times when you are working in this world and things get kind of hard, it's real easy to be like, F this. Why am I even doing this? You know what I mean? But that reminder of I am striving for what is best for me.
Okay.
Even if something may seem difficult. And what I mean by difficult, so let me put things in context because I'm all over the place. So recently, I've been doing it for a while, but I've been very seriously working on my shadow work.
Okay.
And uncovering traumas and things like that. And sometimes that can be very, very hard. You know, especially for a person who has intentionally made friends with their shadows. Like, oh, that's my friend, gonna be with me forever.
Yeah,
you know
this is
who
I am.
Like, listen.
Take me for who I am.
Take me as I am, or
crazy.
take nothing at all. Like, for real, just
and be mad when people don't take them as they are.
Yeah, and so like I've been really intentionally uncovering my shadows, like ugly crying, uncovering my shadows. And sometimes it sucks because I think I see myself as a baby thug sometimes. In my heart, I'm a thug.
You little thug.
In my heart, I'm
Young
like a
thug.
baby Yoda thug.
Baby
like,
Yoda.
For real. I got it. It's in there. It may be hidden behind all this other stuff, but it's in there. I'm a G.
What does that mean? You don't have no feelings? Is that what it?
Nah,
when someone says a baby thug, what does it mean? What does that mean to you?
What that means to me is that I'm strong and that things don't break me, easily. But when you start crying, you be like, oh Lord,
Does crying mean that something broke you?
I'm working on that. That's a part of it. That's a part of it. See, what I have learned is that crying actually makes you very strong. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's something that I'm not ashamed to say that I've been working on, because I thought strength was withstanding and sitting in it and just Cleo on set it off.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go out like a G. Like I thought that that's what it was, and it's like, no, that's not. That's actually very weak. That's like the easy way out. But like when things get really hard and when it gets really easy to just fall back into old ways, you have to remember that you are striving for your best self. You're striving to be the best version of who you are, and when you make that affirming statement to yourself, it helps you to remember why you're pressing on and why you're withstanding the fire of whatever it is that you're walking through.
Yeah.
So that's what it was for me. It was that for me. I'm striving for what is best for me.
I got you. I think that for me, I think it's a part of I am enough. It's such a simple statement,
but it's so powerful.
But it's so powerful because a lot of times we feel like we're not good enough for certain things. I know, like as a therapist, a lot of times when I'm meeting clients, sometimes I'm just like, man, I suck.
You really be thinking that?
Sometimes I do. Or if I meet a new client, I'm like, man, how am I going to make them think that I'm a good therapist? Like, I have like that really irrational thought in my head.
Imposter syndrome.
And so what I'll do is I'll go in the mirror before I meet a client and I'll just talk to myself. And I'll tell myself, like, you're here for a reason. You did all this work. God blessed you with this talent, with this gift. And he brought you to this place because you were enough.
Right.
And so telling myself that actually empowers me to where when I do meet clients, it's like I have that encouragement already going inside of me. And so I do a lot of mirror work, with myself. And so I am enough is something that I have to constantly tell myself.
Right.
Even as, a bigger guy. Like, I've been big my whole life. I had stints of smallness.
Hey, man.
But overall,
2016 was a good year.
Yeah, overall, though, I've been big my whole life. And so there's been a lot of insecurities with that, you know, of, man, it'd be nice to just be small once, you know, or I see all the small guys getting all this attention. It's like, man, yeah, I mean, but that's something I have to deal with. You know, I think it's the same way you see women who they see the magazines and they see the view of beauty, and that, you know, you need your eyebrows looking like this, you need to have this kind of waist, you need your butt to look like this, you need your nose to look like that. Men go through it too, because we see the way that women gawk over men who have these amazing bodies and have these 8-packs and have these muscles, and you know, we see that. We experience it the same way. And so when you have a man, when you know, when you're a bigger guy, when you're a bigger kid, you see the way that women, you know, fetish over that, and you wish that it was you, and so you have a lot of insecurities. Yeah. You know, so telling myself I'm enough a lot of times is what actually has helped me in my life. And so seeing that as one of your affirmations, I was like, I use that daily.
You said that's me.
That's me.
It's me right there.
That's me, definitely. So yeah, that was for me. I will say, okay, so we're next going to talk about the journal prompt. The journal prompt from last week was, what is something that you should be holding yourself accountable for? Are you holding yourself accountable? And if not, what is stopping you? I think for me, the thing that sticks out the most is my business. Something I should be holding myself accountable for is getting my business up and running. So talking about the business bank account, the website, the logo. I mean, I got a little bit of stuff done. Yeah. But it hasn't been a priority as the way that it should be. Yeah. And are you holding yourself accountable? No, I'm not. I'm not holding myself accountable because I allow things to continue to go and not really, make it a priority. What is stopping me? I would say what is stopping me is me putting other things ahead of that. Yeah. And so, like my job, I put my job ahead of that. I have personal situations going on in my life, you know, and so a lot of those things are in my mind are taking precedent over a lot of stuff. And so it makes it very hard for me to sit down and just focus on my business. Yeah. I could be rigid, I could be managing my time better, but I don't. And so I'm getting in my own way. What is stopping me is me. You know, it's me making it a priority. So I would definitely, that was my journal. That was my answer to that journal prompt. What about you?
Mine is similar, but not.
Okay.
Mine is my business, but mine is more like, I do a lot of work for my business, but like, I do a lot of work and I'm like, don't want to show people my work. That's my problem, because I'm like, I don't know if it's done or if I don't know if it's good enough. And then like, I have one of the things that I need to work on with my stuff is I have this thing to where like, I realize I really have a problem with money. Like the whole concept of money, asking people for money, setting prices. I feel like setting prices is asking people for money. It's weird. I got this weird thing going on in my head. Like
setting prices for like your business?
Yeah, like for my items. Okay. I feel like this thing goes in my head like I'm asking people for money instead of like, no, this is what this costs. And I have an issue. I don't know how to break it in my head. Okay. And so like, I feel like that's like the biggest stumbling block of me showing people what I have, because people be like, oh, that's nice. How much does it cost? I don't know. And then even if I did like the budget and figured out how much it costs, then I have this other shadow situation that's in my mind to where it's like, why would you charge them that much money? It's terrible. It's like, and I realize I really have an issue with money. Like I really do. Like my problem is I just be like, I just want to give it to people, and that's not that's not a business. You can't just give shit away. You know what I mean?
Do you feel like the price isn't justified?
I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't know if that's it or if I really do not know. This is like a really big one for me.
Because the thing is, when you value something, you don't give it away. A person has to basically give you something valuable for it. So if you value,
but I'm a person that gives I'm a big gift giver. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like one of my favorite ways to like show love is to give somebody something.
Okay.
I think it's very valuable, or to make a thoughtful gift and give it to someone.
Mm-hmm.
So like that's like something I've always done since I was a little girl. You know what I mean? So now that it's like me taking my talents and making a business out of it, it's this whole thing of
what we just said earlier. You know that when if you are valuing someone else over you, then you're doing the wrong thing. Like,
but how do I feel? But is that really me valuing somebody else over me?
Because you're putting other people and their happiness before yours. Like it makes you happy, but it doesn't feed you. And it's like if they can be just as happy by paying for it. They don't have to have it for free to be happy.
Yeah.
Like they can pay for it and you can be happy and they can be happy.
Yeah.
You know, or they can feel fulfilled and you can feel fulfilled. But if you're constantly giving away something, our question is, do you feel like it's valuable?
I do feel like it's valuable. I don't know. I'm weird with money. I hate the whole concept of money, period, to begin with. Like, I think money is so stupid. I understand it's necessary for this
The thing is, you gotta think about the time, because they're not just paying for the product.
Yeah.
They're paying for everything, all the energy you put into it.
Yeah.
And if you put all your energy into something and you get no return, we talk about investing and not having anything in return, then you're not doing the right thing. You're going to be empty.
Yeah.
You know, and so thinking about the time I put into it, the thought, energy I put into it, the creativity I put into it, then the physical labor that I put into it, I'm not just going to give it to you for free, because then I just spent the whole day for nothing.
Yeah.
You know, or I spent a whole 2 weeks for nothing.
Yeah.
You know, I sat and studied these notes and went over as a therapist, like I study these notes and I go over therapy and philosophy and things like that, so that when I meet with a client, I have something to bring, because my time is valuable. So when you pay me the fee that I charge, it's not just to sit and listen to you. It was for all the preparation it took to get to you,
right,
so that I can be a better service for you.
Yeah.
You know? And so you got to look at it that way. I experienced that too. Like, when people ask me my prices and I tell them, it's like, they're like, man, it's just a lot. That's a lot. And there's an eternal argument that goes in my head, like, Tony, just reduce the price so they can get your service.
It's the worst feeling. It's so
like, man, Tony, you went to school.
It's
you went to grad school. You paid all this money.
Bruh, it sucks. I don't care what nobody say. It's the worst. That's like one of my biggest things, because the only reason I charge money for things is because this world says you need money. This world did not need money.
I saw the post you had posted. He was like, God told us they just want us to come out here eat.
For real.
Be happy and have sex. They was like, have children.
Eat these fruit, chill out, watch my earth.
9 and 10 to y'all to have to have money.
And raise credit and do all this goofy stuff. Like, I feel like if this world just said, just kidding, no more money, everybody just live and be kind to one another, I would be happy, because then 89% of my stress would be gone away. 89% of my stress would be out of here. Mm-hmm. And I could just do what I want to do and live however I wanted to live and give and do all the... I would be full, because nothing costs money. Mm-hmm. But because things cost money, it's like now everything that I love to do is tainted with this whole thing of acquiring money. Mm-hmm. It's so annoying.
You think about even early times, like money hasn't always been a thing, but currency has always been a thing. Yeah. When you talk about land, or cattle, like livestock, or shekels. Shekels. There's always been some form of currency. Sometimes it was the harvest. Yeah. Your harvest was your what you got paid. Yeah. You take 10% of your harvest and you give it to the community. Yeah. Like, so there's always been a form of currency, it just wasn't as
petty as it is now.
yeah, it wasn't as needed as money is now. Like without money in this world, it's very hard to do much.
Can't do nothing.
Yeah.
And so I don't know, like that's a big thing that I'm getting over. That was why I did the Juneteenth pop-up shop thing that I did.
Huh?
The Juneteenth pop-up shop.
You did the Juneteenth pop-up shop?
Yeah, so
you're not coming to our event, huh?
No. The pop-up shop was first and then the event is second.
Oh yeah, you did say you had something doing.
Yeah, so the pop-up shop is was more so because I haven't launched my businesses yet.
Gotcha.
I won't be launching them till next month. But the pop-up shop was more for getting me out of, basically making me uncomfortable. Because change can only happen in uncomfortable situations. And putting a deadline on something and putting an outward deadline where you're pushed into something I feel like that made it better for me to be more prepared for when I'm really ready to launch. You know what I mean? It made me pick prices for things. It made me put out the product the way, what I got right now. And now people got to look at it, see what people say, see how they respond to it, and then take that feedback, whether good, bad, indifferent, or whatever, and you use that information, that intel, to prepare yourself for your launch.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay.
That's what I got.
Gotcha. All right, so we got a few topics here.
Yeah.
You want to start us off, or you want me to start?
I want to start with this topic that's on the Shade Room.
The Shade Room.
I really want to read this to you.
We are here now. We are talking about topics in the Shade Room.
No, this needs to be talked about.
All right.
Let me find it. It was a couple of days ago. Hold on. Okay, it's a scenario. I'm going to read it to you. This is a text message thread.
Text message. Nice.
Okay, it says, hey. So.
Hey.
This is it doesn't say that, but the first person talking is the guy.
Okay.
Second person talking is the girl.
Gotcha.
Okay, so this is the guy. Hey, are you checked into the hotel? Let me know what's going on. I called you like 3 times. WTF. Girl says, I'm so sorry. I just checked in 30 minutes ago. My phone was charging because it died. I'm getting out of the shower now. Guy says, bet, I'm on my way to see you. Girl says, huh? Guy says, what do you mean, huh? I'm on my way to hang out with you. Is that an issue? Girl says, hang out in what way? Guy says, the person's name, they got it blurred out.
Okay.
So and so. We have been talking for 5.5 months. I flew you out here and got you a hotel. I want to see you, bae. Why are you acting brand new? Girl says, it's late. I don't want company tonight. It's all. I'm tired. It's literally after midnight. Guy says, oh, okay. I'll be over in the morning then. I'll let you sleep. She says, over in the morning just to hang out as friends, right? ? He says, can we FaceTime? ? She says, my phone is still charging. He says, why are you acting different? Do you not want to hang out? I didn't know we was quote unquote just friends. I would not have flown you out. I don't have intercourse, not that word. My friends. We've been sending nudes and sexting and FaceTime on FaceTime. What am I missing here?
Okay.
She says, I feel like we are rushing things. I don't want to have sex or anything. Just hang out as friends if that's okay. Smiley face. You are amazing and a good friend. I don't want to upset you. He says, damn. Upset me? I am livid.
Right. I'm hot right now.
He said, I paid over $1,000 for you to come out here. I don't do that for my friends. You know what? No worries. Since we're friends, I need my money back. $977.56 to be exact. She says, I don't have that. Why are you acting this way? I just want to take things slow. Please don't be mean. He says, taking it slow would mean me not flying you out here. You played me. So, checkout is at 12 p.m. tomorrow. I'm canceling the other 2 days. I am also canceling the flight back. You can figure it out on your own. She says, wow, so this is how you do people? I don't have the money to get home. At least allow me to fly back. I'll check out tomorrow. He says, nah, lose my number and have a nice life. She says, I'm sorry. You blocked me? Please pick up. I don't have the funds to get home. Shaking my head. Who's wrong? The guy or the girl?
Whoa. That's a lot. So I would say that they're both right and wrong in certain aspects. So if I'm putting my therapist hat on. Okay, let me speak as a man.
That's gonna be our new segment.
What?
I'm gonna find the most ratchet stuff I can find to let you be the therapist.
As a man, okay, forget that. Forget it being a man. I'm gonna be Tony. I'm gonna be the therapist. Be the person I am. So first and foremost, he's right in terms of. Okay, I'm gonna talk about how both of them are right and how both of them are wrong.
Okay.
All right. So he's right because based on the nature of their communication, the nature of their relationship, he was led to believe that they were heading in this direction.
Right.
Based on their communication. Who knows what they talked about prior to? He might have been like, I can't wait to see you. And she's like, I can't wait to see you either.
Right.
Right. So for a man to put that much money into flying a woman out,
he did say they were sexting.
In most cases, a man is not going to make that type of investment in you unless they've seen that, this has a high possibility of working out in my favor.
Yeah.
Right. I'm not spending $1,000 for you to come visit me in another city if I don't even feel like we are at that place in relationship. And so I believe he was right in being upset that she didn't want to hang out. Now, the whole sex thing, you can't make someone have sex, but we'll get to that later.
I don't think he was making her have sex.
Or trying to insinuate that, hey, this is what we were doing. Why wouldn't we? Like he was expecting that.
He said, I think he was saying.
Because he was like, I want us to take it slow or something like that.
She said, in the morning, we can hang out as friends, right?
Yeah.
And he said, why are you acting different? Do you not want to hang out? I don't know. I didn't know that we were just friends. I would have not flown you out. I don't F my friends.
So it sounded like he was expecting that's what they were going to do.
And then he continued to say, and then
the conversation leading up to that, it sounded like, hey, this is where we're headed.
Yeah, because he continued to say, we've been sending nudes and sexing on FaceTime.
Yeah.
What am I missing
Probably
here?
having cyber sex or whatever. Mm-hmm. So it's like, well, why wouldn't we when we saw each other?
But it seems, for him to say, I don't F my friends, and for her not to rebut that, it made it seem like that she did make some sort of allegation that they were going to have sex.
I'll say what she did right in that aspect is she advocated for herself. She said that that's not what she wanted.
That's very important.
And she stood on that and whatnot. I would say that's the only thing I would say is a positive on her end. Now we talk about the negatives, the things that they were wrong about. He was wrong for expecting. Expectations.
We talked about that
on
the episode.
There's a certain level you cannot. expect something of someone because you're always going to let yourself down.
Yep.
You know, if you invited her out, you should have been like, hey, let's hang out. You know, and then that's it. And then wherever it goes is where it goes. But I'm not flying you out to have sex with you.
He should have flown her out or got the hotel. He should have made her pay for one of the other.
Now, so I'm not saying that they didn't do that, but maybe,
no, he paid for both.
No, I'm not saying. I'm thinking maybe they talked about, hey, this is what we're gonna do when you get here, like coming up with a plan. I don't know if they did that or if he just said, I'm gonna fly you out and we can hang out. Don't know. He still should have, even if that was gonna be.
I feel like you have to allow the other person to come to the 50-yard line. Anytime that you do everything in a relationship, you set yourself up to be goofy like this every time.
Like you said, hey, I get the hotel, you pay for the flight.
Yeah, or vice versa.
Because now she's investing something into it too.
And so now she's less likely to do what she did.
Right, but you gave her everything. You basically like rolled a red carpet out for her, and now she's like, let me see what else I can get from him.
I'm going to see if I can only see him 30 minutes while I'm here.
Then I'm going to go do whatever else I want to do. I'm playing games.
Yeah.
I would say, okay, so what she did, like I said, what he did wrong was the expectations. And I don't like the fact that he kind of got emotional. He was very upset. Obviously, it's okay to be upset. I think that he should have led with what he said. Okay, well, if we're not, because he was trying to hang out with her. You know, then it got to the whole sex thing. And it's like, okay, I think that's where he lost it. I would have just stayed with, okay, are we hanging out while you're here? Because we had plans to hang out. What are we doing? We could have just hung out as friends, you know, but it's based on her energy. It sounded like she was on some BS from the get go. Like, so I'm just like, okay, what are we doing? I would say what she did wrong was she led this man on. She made this man believe that their relationship was somewhere where it wasn't. Yeah. Or she's playing games. Yeah. And she doesn't value him, and she's probably tricking off on him. Like, let me just.
She got him saying, let me say to her phone that's flued out.
Let me just give him a little bit just to get him interested. Child. And then he gonna give me whatever he want, and then I'm gonna do whatever I want.
You want to know what I applaud him the most about?
What?
Even though you say you don't like that he got emotional, I like that he did own his emotions. I like that.
He said he was livid. Like
he said he was livid. He said he literally said when she was like, "Don't be upset." Like most men to be like, "I ain't upset," and then they will show that they are upset. Yeah. He owned his emotions, and then he said, and he said, "Just give me my money back." He didn't call. I was reading this nervously. He didn't call her a B.
Yeah, he didn't
disrespect her at all. Even when he was like, "Just lose my number, have a nice life." Yeah. He's from the beginning to the end. He still, even in his emotion, he still maintained his respect for her, even when she really did not deserve. Every woman deserves respect, don't get me wrong, but the way that she was acting,
everybody deserves respect.
She was not respecting him. Yeah, and he didn't.
She was giving him the runaround.
And he didn't disrespect. He still respected her. So I do applaud him for that.
That was great.
He did the ultimate petty move at the end, but that's his right. That's his money.
Ain't petty. It's like, okay, well, I got you this room in this hotel, this hotel and this plane ticket for us to spend time together. And you didn't come here with the same intentions. So I'm not spending money for you to just have a vacation. That's not that wasn't the deal. That wasn't what I was doing this for. Right. And so because you want to just have a vacation, you could do it on your own dime. So you got one night and you got a plane ticket here. Congratulations. I'll never get that money back, which is cool. But these next 2 days and that flight home, that's all on you. Have a good day. And that's great. That's great that he did that too. That I would have been like, I'm very disappointed in just how everything turned out. I thought that we would be able to spend some time together considering everything we've been, everything we've talked about over the last how long they've been talking, And as of now, I think that I'm just going to go ahead and cancel the rest of the trip. cancel the flight home, and we'll just call it even. I hope you have a good one.
I just also didn't like the fact that he was calling her several times, and he was like, "Are you here? What's going on?" And she finally replied, and then he was like, "I'm coming over." She was like, "No," and then he was like trying to FaceTime her, and she was like, "My phone still needs to be charged." It was like, it just made me think in my head, did you come out and somebody else came with you, and y'all just in this room together?
Are you talking about the woman or are you talking about the man?
The woman.
Oh, you didn't like that. Okay.
I didn't like how
FaceTime me if you texted me.
Yeah, like you could have at least FaceTimed him and told him that you didn't feel comfortable. Y'all already been FaceTiming and sexting. Why couldn't you pick up the phone?
You didn't had your woman parts all on the screen. You can't FaceTime the man now? Now he can't see your face? Wow. But yeah, I mean, look, just to be real, ladies, if a man is going to fly you out,
you out.
We're not talking about right or wrong here. We're just talking about how men are. If a man puts that amount of money into flying you out and getting you a hotel room, I am almost 100% sure that he thinks that it's going to result in some sexual activity.
That's rent.
Yes. No, now, unless this man is your family and they're doing you a favor, most men, when they do that, they have every intentions of having sex with you.
That's rent.
Don't have this naive, he just did this and we're friends. No, you're not friends like that. Men are not doing that. We don't do that.
What you mean, T?
No, we're not doing that. I have a lot of female friends.
Yeah, you do.
I'm not paying for 3 nights and a ticket.
So you got your own money.
Yeah, and then no, not doing that. If it's emergency or something, I might throw a little bit in, but I'm not funding your whole trip.
And when you throw a little bit in, you're gonna be like, "Where your man at, girl?
Right?
What's going on?"
Right, you're going to give up some. Okay, I don't mean to say that. You're going to give up something if I'm doing that much. I have confidence that, hey, this is where we're headed. I'm only doing that with somebody that, obviously, I'm only doing that with my lady. But if I wasn't in a relationship,
it would be
if I'm doing that, it's because I see that, this person, we've been building on that, and so when they get here, there's a high probability there that we're going to continue to progress.
First of all, we definitely going to spend time with each other.
Yeah,
That's the whole reason why you came in. That's the whole reason why you came in town.
Yeah.
I don't want to see you. You talking to me like we live together, and you just not tonight, babe. Like what the hell?
Right.
What?
You only here for 2 more nights?
You should want to see. I should have been picking you up from the airport.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, but she wasn't answering his phone. He was going a little nuts, but I don't know. I think that whole situation, and it happens so much in these celebrity streets. So I don't know what was that about. But
I don't even think it was a celebrity.
But men, just buy a plane ticket and go visit her.
It's so much easier.
Yeah, it's just so much easier. If it don't happen, it don't happen. But look, you have to be 100% sure that y'all are heading in that direction before you go down that road. And it sounded like this guy thought they were. And for all intents and purposes, based on what he said, it sounded like they were in that place.
Yeah.
But obviously, you didn't ask enough questions. And honestly, it's only so much you can know about somebody long distance.
For real.
Anybody can be anybody long distance. And so that's kind of the struggle of these long distance relationships too, is that you don't get a chance to really get to know somebody, get to know them, because you only get to see what they show you.
Yeah.
Whereas you see them in person, you see everything. You see their demeanor, you see their energy, you see
the stuff they
hide. You see all that stuff when you're face to face. And so yeah, I mean, I feel bad for the guy, but it sounded like he was able to get some kind of resolution into all this. So. And hopefully the lady found a way back home. Maybe I guarantee you he wasn't the only one she was tricking off of. She probably got a backup somewhere.
But she might have had the other person she was tricking off of in the hotel room.
Maybe not. Who knows? So it's funny because you brought that up. So I wanted to bring up something. So over the weekend, I was asked the question.
Oh.
I was asked a question, and it made me think of it in a larger context. So I'll give you a backstory. So, at my girlfriend's birthday party that I threw for her, or that I planned, I didn't throw it solely by myself, but I planned it. I was asked by one of her friends, when where was I going to propose to her? When was I going to marry her? And the person proceeded to say, this woman is a wife and she deserves to be a wife. And what are your intentions for her? And so it made me think of that question in general, because I hear that question asked a lot of men.
Which question?
Of when are you going to marry this person, or are you going to marry this person? And it's like, and to insinuate that the woman is, I feel like it insinuates that the woman is the prize. The woman is the desired object in this. Like, it lends to the whole thing about the wedding is about the woman. It's not about the man. And I feel like we live in a society where it's always about the woman and the woman's happiness. And it's like, I think that for me, I am a person, I value myself.
I hope so.
I value myself. I value what I bring to the table. Mm-hmm. I view myself as a husband material. And so just because a woman is a good woman, just because a woman is viewed as a wife, does not mean that, now that means that I have to commit my life to this person, because we're talking about my life.
Not only that, you have to understand that just because a woman is a good wife or a man is a good husband doesn't mean that that's your wife or husband.
Yeah.
You have to figure out what is best for you.
Exactly.
And that takes time.
It takes time. I also think that, and like I said, this happens a lot with situations. I've definitely been in a situation where people ask you, when are you going to marry this person? It's like, why? Why do you ask that question? What is it that...
What agenda's going on?
Yeah, what's the agenda? Why can't we be happy where we're at? Why is marriage the goal? Like, what are you trying to get?
I think a lot of times people have an incapacity to live in the present, be in the now, understand the importance of the now. The now is so important. The now is everything. It's always the now.
Right.
The future never is here.
Right.
The now is the only thing that matters, because once it becomes the end, it can't be changed, and the future never comes. So the now is what matters. If you want whatever you're theorizing in your future, you need to focus on what you're doing in your now. Mm-hmm. And I think an issue with a lot of women, we talked about this. I don't know if we talked about this before, if I talked about this with my good girlfriends. Good. Yeah, but big issue with a lot of women when it comes to the topic of marriage as a whole is having that whole concept of wife and mother validate your womanness. Mm-hmm. Not knowing who you are as a woman outside of those things. Mm-hmm. Is the reason why a lot of people are rushing things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree
and
with
sometimes
that.
it's sometimes it ain't even you rushing it. Just like you have like a mother being like, when you gonna give me grandbabies? Listen, lady, when I'm ready.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or like you were saying, a friend saying, when you gonna get married? Like sometimes it's not even you, but that rush, I feel like that energy of rush comes from this whole notion that certain titles and certain things validate you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when you said the statement, she is a wife. It's not that she is a wife, she's a good woman.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And good women are often chosen as wives. You know what I mean? But she's not a wife. She's a good woman.
Yeah.
And she's a good woman that will one day become a wife, and a good woman that is also a phenomenal friend, and also a miraculous mother, and also a fantastic doula, and all these other things. But at the core, she's a good woman.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I feel like a lot of times we focus on these
titles,
adjectives, and we
Yeah.
don't focus on the noun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Put your attentions on the noun, the woman part. Be the woman. You know what I mean?
Right.
All those other things are just adjectives.
And I'm a firm believer also that I think that marriage is forever. It should
Yeah.
be forever.
It should be.
And so if marriage is supposed to be forever, then why are we rushing?
Listen, you already know.
Because if we meant to be together forever, then it doesn't matter when we get married. Now, I'm not saying that you're supposed to wait around for it, but
Right.
I'm also saying that
You ain't gotta rush
you ain't
it.
gotta rush it. If
It's
it's
no
meant to be, it's
timetable.
meant to be.
Especially if both of y'all are moving in the same direction.
Yeah.
Y'all are walking. Y'all are both
You're moving
walking
in the right direction.
But y'all are both hand in hand walking at the same
Yeah.
pace.
Yeah.
One's not running and the other one's not walking like the sloth. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? But if both of y'all got y'all a nice steady pace and y'all are moving, y'all will get there when you get there.
Right. And
It's not about getting there when society says you should be. Because a lot of people will be like, oh, it's been 90 days. You should have been fucking them by now. Wait a minute. What if
Right.
that's not how we
Where
get
these rules
down?
come from?
It's society. You know what I
And
mean?
also, like, when are you going to marry this person? Then what happens? What happens now? Okay, you ask me when I'm going to marry you. I tell you tomorrow. Okay, now what?
When you gonna have babies?
Does that mean that something? What changes? Does it mean that
That's
that? Does it mean that now it's legitimate?
No, that's what's next. Then they push the babies.
Yeah, that's
You
like,
know that from being married.
it's
We
just-
both been there.
It's just like okay,
It just becomes the next thing to nitpick about
yeah, so,
and rush about, and it's just like that's why as long as you know and your person knows what you're doing, that's all that matters. Outside people really don't matter. And
Yeah.
they really shouldn't have.
I like I said, the bigger issue, I think one of the bigger issues is that there is this undertone that marriage is, well, I mean, I think a lot of men feel this way anyway. I think that men feel like marriage is about the woman, it's not about us.
I hate that you're saying that.
We don't get anything out of being married.
I hate that because if I am to ever marry again, I honestly don't want to do. I don't want to have a ceremony. If I did have a ceremony, it would strictly be for my husband alone.
Yeah.
Because I've already done it, and even when I went the first time, it really wasn't like a ceremony, but it's just like it's not for me. You know what I mean? Like me doing that would really be more so for everyone else. Mm-hmm. I care more about taking that money and doing something for my family to sustain, to help put us in a better place because we're gonna be together. You know what I mean? That's my mindset on things. But obviously, if my fiance or my future husband wanted to do that, and that was something that he's always wanted, it would definitely be, everything would be for him. So I hate the fact that you're saying that most men feel like the wedding is not for them at all, because it would literally have to be like that for me. Just because, like, when you talking about somebody who's been married and been divorced already, it's like seen one, seen them all.
I agree with that. I think being married myself and dealing with the whole divorce, it has allowed me to see that just because you get married doesn't mean that you live happy ever after.
Child.
And so instead of looking at marriage as the end all be all or the achievement, you should be looking at having a healthy relationship as the achievement.
Not marriage. Can I correct you a little bit?
What?
The problem is people look at the wedding as the end all be all when the marriage is what is more important. The ceremony is what people focus on, and they don't focus on the relationship. The wedding is a ceremony where the marriage is the relationship.
Yeah, I think a lot of people focus on the wedding.
Yeah, most people are just, it's the wedding.
It's the wedding.
And that's it. And it's like.
And then for the others, it's the validation of somebody being a wife.
Yeah.
It's like, and a lot of times I'll be like, man, when people ask, I think maybe this is the part that I get kind of pissy about. Mm-hmm. But it'd be the part where I'm like, well, shoot, this person had other relationships. Why am I the one that you ask this question to? It's like, we were together just as long as the other ones were. And I'm not talking about my situation. I'm just saying in general. You could have been you could have been together with the same amount of time as the other relationships, but yet you were asked this question of when you're going to marry her. Like, why is that a question? And so that was just interesting concept over the weekend. It made me think about, just that the question of, when people ask a man when they're going to marry a woman, and I don't know. And I think in that situation, just to add more light to it, I don't think that I wasn't upset by the question or caught off guard by it, because I can hold my own and whatnot. But it just was like, wow, okay.
But that's not an uncommon situation.
Yeah.
So I understand.
And
I understand why you would even go into a whole thought process about it, because that's something that happens a lot. And most of the times when people are coming, they mean well. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like advocating for their friend, or so it's a meaning well situation. But
yeah, I guess I get a little offended by it, because, like I said, it denotes this thing that, this is all about the woman.
Yeah.
Forget you being a good man. Forget throwing a whole birthday party for this woman. Forget all the stuff that you did to make this woman feel special.
Yeah.
When you gonna marry her? It's like, dang. What about everything I done did now? Like, did that not mean nothing?
Did you get here?
You hear this in society all the time. Like, until he put a ring on your finger, you single. Really? So a man could do so much for you. A man could be supportive. A man could be loving. A man could be accommodating. A man could be edifying to you. He could do all these things, but it don't mean nothing until he marries you.
I don't know why that is a thing.
It's
because
like, what, really?
A man can marry you and that could mean nothing.
Yes.
I'm telling you that men
now.
Marry
women all the time, and it means
absolutely nothing. You should know that, because there's plenty of married men in women's inboxes.
Yeah.
On a daily.
So I don't even know why that is still in 2021. I still don't understand why that is even a barometer of the successful relationship. Because I can get married tomorrow and be divorced the next day.
You can.
And then what?
You just divorced.
Yeah, it's like, man. And like I said, going through the marriage divorce thing is allowed me to see that marriage, it could end. Because
here's the reality.
Well, any relationship can end, but marriage is. I look at marriage like, okay, it's great, it's amazing when you're doing it the right way. So what's more important is not marriage. What is more important is building and growing a healthy relationship so that marriage does last forever.
Yep. The foundation is so important. That's why I say people need to stop worrying about and rushing towards the end, because going to a ceremony is like putting the walls up and putting the roof on the house, and now you got the structure of the house.
Yeah.
And now that you got the structure of the house and all of this going on, that marriage is you doing all the work in the house.
Yeah.
Doing all the fixing on things when things break down, beautifying the house, putting up tapestries and all that shit, cooking in the house, bringing babies in the house. That is the marriage part, the relationship part. But all of that don't matter if you didn't do anything to lay a solid foundation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If your house is built on sinking sand, we all know about that. Yeah. If your house is built on sinking sand, then it doesn't matter how pretty that house is, how decorative that house is, how well intentioned the people were who started putting this house together. It's built on sinking sand.
Right. I totally agree. So I'll say this, to women. Like, if you see that your friend is happy and in love in a relationship, Don't ask the person when they're going to get married. Just be happy for where they are. And let them get to the point where they're going to get to. Because by you asking doesn't increase it. It doesn't speed it up. And if anything, you know, if you're a man like me, it makes you actually take a step back and say, why? Why should I get married?
Let me tell you something for me, woman like me. Don't do nothing like that for me because it's going to make me feel weird. It's going to make me feel like you pressured him into doing that.
Yeah.
Instead of letting him do it on his own.
Right. It's like, why are you pressuring someone into forever?
I don't want nobody to feel pressured to be in a relationship with me.
Yeah, just let it happen.
Let it be.
If it's going to happen, it's going to happen. If it's not, it's not.
Yeah.
You asking is not going to change anything because you can pressure me into it and I'll do it. But that don't mean that I wanted to. And that doesn't mean that the marriage is going to be even legitimate.
Yeah.
It's going to be all for show.
Mm-hmm.
You know, think of how many people who get married because of some other people in their opinions.
Man.
And now they're miserable.
Man.
You know, and so no, you get married when it's time, when you and your partner feel like this is the time
when
for
it's
us to
right.
make that step. But it shouldn't be about anyone else but your partner. And for individuals who want to get married, you should be asking yourself the question of, what does marriage change for me? What does marriage do for me? Does it, because you might even be perpetuating the idea that marriage validates you as a person.
Mm-hmm.
And you should never be married. You should never get married for validation.
Mm-hmm.
You are just fine who you are. You don't need to be a wife or a husband to be amazing, to be special. You can be just fine all by yourself. That's
good
just
woman,
something
good man.
That's just something you can add to.
Mm-hmm.
But it shouldn't be the home.
It shouldn't be the noun. It's just the adjective.
Your dog got this leg around the cord.
Oh Lord.
So I don't want him to pull the microphone off because, yeah.
He's just trying to get up here.
Or she, I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, so that was just something that happened this weekend. I was like, you know what? That's interesting. You know, I mean, like I said, it was a little awkward, but I can hold my own on that type of question. But it just made me think about it. Like, man, like why is that such a big deal?
For real.
You know? So, side note. So Thundercat is coming to St. Louis.
Thundercat.
So Thundercat, for me personally, I was not introduced to Thundercat until last year.
That's a do-rag.
And the Dragon Ball do-rag song came on Facebook, and I thought it was just like a spoof. I thought it was like, oh, this
is the type of music he do.
And so I didn't find out that he was an artist until then, and I was like, oh wow, he's actually pretty good.
Yes.
So he's coming to St. Louis in November, I believe.
Yes.
And so I'm thinking about we should get some tickets.
We should. You know who else is coming in October?
Who?
Simone Biles.
Oh, the gymnast.
Yes.
Come here for
She's
what?
doing a tour. They're doing a competition, like a whole thing.
Like an Olympic competition?
Yeah, like a whole shebang.
That's probably gonna be pretty big for you know, a lot of young black girls around St. Louis. You know, hopefully people come out. Out of here. But yeah, I want to go see that show. In September, there's a guy he's on like Instagram. He's become pretty big. His name is Mark.
He coming here.
Rebele or Rebelit. I don't know who he is or what he does.
Somebody uncle.
But
He's somebody uncle.
If you look on Instagram,
he's a DJ.
He's like a DJ, and he just randomly plays music and makes beats and just sings random things.
My favorite one that he did, it was like, it's gonna be cussing, y'all. I apologize in advance. It was like, what did he say?
The one I like.
Get the fuck out of bed, bitch. Go. Oh, get up. Come on.
You gotta get up.
Gotta get
up. My favorite one of all time so far is when he's like, gotta work that ass for daddy. Do 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 do. Gotta work that ass for daddy. Bring that fat ass over here. I wanna put it in my mouth. I love that song so much. I'm gonna play it tonight on my way home.
I'm out.
That song is amazing. I'm like, man, he be making some good beats, but he's coming in September.
And Thundercat coming in November.
Oh man, you said
we should go.
Yeah.
You said Thundercat.
Thundercat November. I don't know about Simone. Me personally. That's not my audience. That's not my thing.
But you know me as an athlete.
That would be great.
Simone Biles is literally. She is literally Michael Jordan, Usain Bolt, Michael Phelps. She is literally that level for.
Do you look at Simone Biles as I don't like comparing women. I'm only comparing them in terms of their
greatness.
Not greatness, but their influence. Do you feel like Simone Biles has a greater influence than like Dominique Dawes?
Yes and no.
Okay.
Dominique Dawes has a phenomenal influence because Dominique Dawes was the only one in her time.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Now it's we got a whole bunch of brownies out there. You know what I mean? But what makes Simone Biles so ridiculously good is she is the greatest gymnast, male or female, of all time.
Okay.
She is the most decorated gymnast of all time, period.
Really?
Male or female, and she's still in her prime. So watching her is like, you already know, it doesn't even matter what she does. Now she already has that title, male or female of all time, and she's still going.
So Dominique Dawes, it sounds like she was the one that kind of opened the door.
Yes, she's like to kick the door open.
Simone Biles was like, let me come in and do something.
First Dominique Dawes, then Gabby Douglas.
Gabby Douglas, yes.
And speaking of Gabby Douglas, she resurfaced, and now she's standing with Naomi Osaka, advocating for black gymnasts in that space for their mental health.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Gabby was second. That was the next big name that came out, and then Simone.
Okay, that's dope. I'm looking forward to that.
And she's actually, Simone Biles is dating somebody from St. Louis right now.
Really?
Yeah. Texan. What's his name?
Look, I don't know. I don't keep track.
I tell you. Hold on. I tell you, give me a minute. Give me a minute. Give me a minute.
Well, while you looking that up, I also want to give a shout out to everybody black. Happy Juneteenth.
Happy Juneteenth.
Just for people who don't know, Juneteenth was 1865. Was that the year when it was founded? You said
what now?
June 19th, 1865.
Yes.
That is when slavery was actually legally. It finally ended. It ended with the proclamation, with the exclamation, with the Emancipation Proclamation.
With the exclamation of the proclamation.
Everyone, obviously, at that time, information did not travel as fast as it does now, and so the last group of people did not know that they were free until June 19th, 1865.
Do you know what's so awesome about that?
What?
Did you know that Juneteenth is actually an Aboriginal holiday?
I didn't know. Honestly, for me, I didn't even know Juneteenth was a thing until probably 5 years ago.
Yeah, so the slaves that were in Galveston, Texas.
Galveston.
Yes, they were in Galveston, Texas.
I wonder if Galveston celebrated bigger than anybody else.
I bet you they do. But you know, they were actually empire. It was an Indian Galveston, Texas used to be an Indian empire.
Native American?
Mm-hmm. So Aboriginal Americans. So they house the Karankawa Indians. Karankawa Indians. And these Indians were actually reclassified as black and Negro. And
Question.
they
What is the difference between Aboriginal and original?
Aboriginal means original.
Why not just say original?
Because that's because no one says that when they're talking about people. They
You
just
say the original people of the land. Why say Aboriginal?
that's just what they say. I don't know.
Just wonder, like, why add the AB when since it means the same thing as original?
You know, people. A lot of words mean the same stuff. They just, I don't know.
No, just something I thought of.
But Aboriginal, there is a difference between Aboriginal and Native, though. So there's a reason why people say Aboriginal instead of Native Americans.
What's the difference?
So Native is people who have migrated here from another land, and now their descendants are born here, and so they're native to this land, but they're not originally from this land.
Okay.
So you have a lot of Native Americans. Their lineage actually comes from the Bering Strait. These are people who have a lot of Aboriginal roots in Asia, and they are considered Native Americans. So you have two sets of quote unquote Indians, because that's not really. Yeah, two sets of Indians, your copper colored Indians and more of your lighter, fair skinned Indians, kind of like the Incas and the Eskimo up there. Those are the ones that came across the straits, the Bering Straits. Then you had the copper colored Indians that lived in the eastern and southern part of the United States of America. So when Columbus came over,
Why do we call them Indians instead of Americans?
because when Columbus came over, he thought he was in India because he looked at the
Well, I'm
people.
saying in terms of we know them now, but you were saying like they're not Native Americans, they're Aboriginal.
Yeah, we so my lineage is from here. So we don't say Indians. We say Aboriginal Americans. You know what I mean? But people don't know what that means. So they're like,
Okay.
what does that mean? And so you have to say, these are the copper-colored Native Americans.
Copper-colored.
You know, so the Aboriginal, just like you have in Australia and several other places, the Aboriginal are the original people of that particular land. And when the colonizers, no other way to put it, colonizers, I tried, there's no other colonizers came over, you know, they, these are the people that they eradicated or tried to, you know, kill off, you know, but yeah, so when Christopher Columbus came to the islands, because he never really came to the mainland, he thought he was in India because the skin color of the people that were already here was so dark, like the Indians. And so, and our features were similar. So they thought that he was in India. So he called them Indians. And then he wrote a book, and there's a book called, I think, before there was Columbus, or before there was Columbus, and it talks about his, it brings up excerpts from his journal when he talks about how black the people were. And these are the tribes, the Kiowa tribe, that's my lineage, and the Geechee people, and a lot of these are my lineage. These are tribes.
Is that Geechee?
Geechee, yeah.
Okay.
And a lot of these tribes you don't hear about. You only hear about.
I thought Geechee came from Africa.
There's Geechee
Because
Indians.
Geechee came, they really were in South Carolina, like the Carolinas is where the Geechee people lived. But I thought that was from Africa.
No. From here.
Okay.
From here. So there's a lot. Go ahead.
No, I didn't have a question. I was just wanted to get your idea on Juneteenth as a holiday in general, because they did mention that they were going to make it a nationally recognized holiday.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on Juneteenth in general?
I understand the sentiment. I don't like the fact that they're trying to make it a nationally recognized holiday right now.
Okay. Why?
The reason why I don't like that is because I know, just by doing research of what's going on right now, that there are several task force right now that are gathering evidence to make a case for reparations for melanated people in America.
Okay.
For people who are descendants of slaves here. And I feel like what they're doing is trying to appease so they don't have to pay reparations. And I don't like that. I don't like when people try to do things now that it's like, now you want to do something now. You've been knowing this shit's been wrong for years, forever.
Right. Just because you
don't try to do no half-ass stuff now because you finna have to get, because you finna have to pay. You finna have to pay for what you've done. Now that you have to pay for what you've done, you want to do empty platitudes. It's kind of like last year when George Floyd died, and everybody, and then we did that. What was it? June 2nd, we did a national blackout day.
Correction, he didn't die, he was murdered.
Well, he was murdered. You absolutely right. I apologize. I so apologize. When George Floyd was murdered, and we did the national blackout day, June the 2nd, I believe it was either the 2nd or the 3rd. And everybody was like, oh, I stand with Black Lives. You don't stand with Black Lives, you losing money. I don't like that shit. I don't like it. Be real. If you be real, man.
Or you trying to get money. You trying to, they support me, so let me buy their product.
Oh, we about to have to pay them reparations. Let's just tell them they can have a national day off. I don't want a day off. I want what is owed to me. I want the reparations of my ancestors' blood, sweat, and tears.
Right.
I want the fact that you stole my ancestors' land. I want that. That's what I want. I don't want no damn day.
Can't even dismantle the racism that you allow to permeate and created to permeate our society to continue to hold people of color back.
We're way beyond.
But you don't want to erase that. But you don't want to give us any money for what you've done to us. So you just want to give us a holiday.
Yeah, we're way past the point of. We're way past the point of you acknowledging it meaning something to us. That was in Dr. Martin Luther King's day when they was asking to be civil. That was when they wanted you to acknowledge.
Yeah, at first we just wanted y'all to apologize. Y'all couldn't even do that.
That was when they wanted you to acknowledge. That would have been a good time to make a holiday and do all of that. That's done. The point of acknowledgement, we so beyond acknowledgement. It just seems like it just gives me this whole vibe of, you know how they do the never forget versus the forget? 9/11, never forget. Slavery, y'all still talking about that? Yes, because my goddamn great grandma who was still alive was picking cotton.
Right.
What are you talking about? My grandmother who is still alive, I can go and talk to her today, was picking cotton, bruh. You talking about like this shit was eons ago. This was
right.
My grandma knows about this. Segregation, my mother knows about segregation. She was alive.
There was people living today that could only drink at certain water fountains.
Child, my mother was spit on as she desegregate Hazelwood schools. Don't play, like, come on, man.
Yeah.
You acting like this stuff is like, come on. And then it pisses me off, like certain things, like when you talk about black struggles and you see pictures of things that we went through, like Tulsa and Dr. Martin Luther King and things like that, and they want to put everything in black and white to make you think it's so long ago. That was color shit back then. Why is you trying to put it in black and white? This didn't happen in fucking in goddamn caveman times. This is not when this happened. This happened a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
A couple of years ago this happened. It's still happening. Y'all still hanging people from trees.
Yeah. But I do notice, as I've seen Juneteenth become more widely recognized, I like that black people are starting to become more empowered in terms of celebrating each other. I think that Juneteenth it's adding a place into this black empowerment movement that we're in. And Juneteenth is kind of like it's almost like a celebration of what we've been trying to accomplish.
Yeah.
It's not the end goal. It's not the finish line. We got a ways to go.
It's so much
in terms of what we've accomplished over the last decade. I think having a holiday like Juneteenth is actually a great thing for African Americans.
No, it's been a holiday, period.
I'm saying
because
that
Juneteenth,
we're starting to recognize it more.
I've known about it, but but the mass majority, obviously, yes.
To know about it, but to widely celebrate it as a whole with not all, because everybody's not celebrating it, but
because I don't give a damn.
To celebrate it as I'm seeing I didn't see these things growing up,
but it's the
same.
Like
Juneteenth celebrations.
It's no different than Kwanzaa. It's no different than Kwanzaa. You have Kwanzaa, you have Jubilee, you have Juneteenth, you have Harvest. All of these things are things that Black people or Aboriginal people have celebrated forever. Mm-hmm. But there is no widespread recognition of it because there are commercialized counterparts for them instead. You got Thanksgiving or Christmas or 4th of July and all these other things. And soon as your largest consumer base decides to withdraw their support from your commercialized holidays and celebrate their heritage instead, then of course you want to attach yourself to it because you got to tap in on the money somehow. It's a national holiday.
How do you advertise?
Let me tell you something. I watch next year. Watch all the white people with their Juneteenth. Watch with their stuff for you to buy. Just watch. Just watch. That's why I'm just not. I'm not for it.
How do you think it will be portrayed in terms of? You say
we're celebrating too. We're excited too.
Why? Why would they say that?
Because they need your money.
No, I'm saying not why, but
what
do you think? What do you think the angle would be?
What do you mean? It's solidarity.
Solidarity, saying we were all free on this day.
I think it would be more in solidarity. We understand why it is so important to celebrate this because everybody wasn't free until then. That's
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I think they would try to find ways to incorporate them as Americans. We're all Americans, so we weren't all free until this day.
But of course, until you abolish the 4th of July, the hell, you're still going to celebrate the 4th of July right after you celebrate Juneteenth.
Yeah. And I mean, 4th of July could still be its own holiday because it was the day where Americans were free from Great Britain rule.
But Americans were not free from Great Britain rules.
Why say that?
Because Americans were the copper-colored and people that were here before.
The colonizer Americans, they were free from the rule of Great Britain, so now they can operate on their own.
That is what happened that day.
Yeah.
That's what happened. But the Americans were actually not free. They was slaves like a motherfucker.
Yeah, we was out there picking cotton while they was out there shooting fireworks.
Child.
Shoot, probably a few black people died that day.
I'm sure.
Well, did they? Hold on, wait a minute. I'm going back to African American history in college. Crispus Attucks. Who was that?
Let's make a map. Crispus Attucks.
I feel like that name was incorporated when it came to the American Revolution. I feel like he was the first black person to die in the American Revolution.
Crispus Attucks. Flavius Julius Crispus. Hold on. That can't be his name. Crispus Attucks was an American stevedore of Africa and Native American descent. Widely regarded as the first person killed in the Boston Massacre, and thus the first American killed in the American Revolution.
Yes.
Of course. It's always got to be a black man to die first.
But yeah, so...
of course they got... The only picture they got is him getting stabbed in the neck.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Fucking crazy.
With a bayonet. But yeah, I as a person who didn't know anything about Juneteenth, and I know there's a lot of people who didn't know about it either. And so I love the fact that we have a holiday that we can all feel like we can celebrate that's just about us. Now, of course, we've had other holidays, Kwanzaa definitely. But I think we can thank the Black Empowerment Movement for empowering us to celebrate us more than mainstream holidays. I definitely plan to celebrate Kwanzaa this year. I know my girlfriend is very
I love Kwanzaa.
Big into alternative African holidays.
Yeah.
And so I'm willing to celebrate them along with the holidays that I like to celebrate. You can call me a coon or whatever. I'm not getting rid of Christmas. Christmas is
No, it's
Christmas. Christmas is my favorite holiday, mainly because of the memories that I had with it. It's my experiences with Christmas that makes it more than just, I don't care nothing about how like presents and Santa Claus and everything. Honestly, the Christmas music is nostalgic because when I hear the old school soul music, it brings me back to being a kid with my family, and it's snowing and the Christmas tree, and my family coming together. My grandma baking these cakes all night. Like I think about all that stuff when I hear Jackson 5, Santa Claus coming to town.
Santa Claus is coming.
I love Christmas, but other than them other holidays,
my favorite one has always been harvest, or y'all call it Thanksgiving. But it's harvest, you know what I mean? Because it's bringing together, you know what I mean? Everyone bringing what they have together and coming to give thanks for
when it's harvest.
Harvest is during Thanksgiving time. It's actually a couple of days. So it's like from 25th to the 28th, I believe. And what it's supposed to symbolize is you bringing. It's like potluck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everybody's bringing something to the table, and it is basically giving thanks to God for the preparation, yielding so much in the harvest season of the fall. To prepare you to make it through the winter. That's the whole point of it. So it's like one last big dinner that you're basically having together with your family before winter comes in, and you're giving thanks for a bountiful harvest and a yielding harvest. You know what I mean? Because that's what you use to make it to the springtime again. You know what I mean? So I feel that if you get into touch with what things were for, it gives it a little bit more meaning. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that's why harvest has always been my favorite. You know what I mean? Because it's always about family. You know what I mean? And
we are family.
It's about
like
family.
A giant tree.
That's right. Reaching out to the sky. It's about family. It's about gratitude. It's about God. It's about community. It's about all of that wrapped into one.
Wrapped into a bow. I got you.
And heritage. So.
Well, I look forward to celebrating that. I know this weekend, the Man Up community is doing a Juneteenth Father's Day celebration on Saturday. I don't have the location just yet, but we are registering families to come on and to partake in food and fun, and they're going to be inflatables for the kids. They're going to be games. They're going to be just a good time with in a positive Black event, sponsored by Black men and women. And so, I'm looking forward to that. My kids are going to be there, as well as myself. What else? That's all I really got today.
Me too.
So, you want to go with your affirmations there? You got those ready?
Almost.
Okay, so I'll do my journal prompt because I actually got it written down here. Not no shade or anything. I'm just looking at it right now on my computer because I thought of it earlier today when we were talking about yielding and investments. And I wanted to ask this question for the community, the Self-Love Society community, the Self-Lovers. I don't know what our fan group is called. I don't know. Y'all come up with something and give us some suggestions. What investments are you making in your life that are yielding little to no return?
Two.
I'm not talking about stocks and bonds and businesses. I'm talking about people.
Child.
I'm talking about situations.
You know how I feel about that.
What investments are you making in your life that are yielding little to no return? I want you to write about that. I want you to write about what's happening, and use that as a barometer, as a stepping off point to figuring out what it is you need to let go. What investment do you need to stop investing in? What relationships should you stop investing in? Be it a significant other, Be it family, be it friends, it doesn't even matter. Because just because you're family does not mean that you are meant to be in a close relationship with. That just the people that you were born into communion with doesn't necessarily make them the people that you should be around. I know plenty of family members that it's not healthy for me to be around. And that's okay. Everybody's not meant to be together like that. And so I want you to ask yourself the question of what investments are you making in your life that are yielding little to no return.
You already know how I feel about that. I've
definitely done that inventory of my life over the last few years, and sometimes you gotta tell people, hey, I can't mess with you anymore.
I think I gotta let it go.
Yeah. Looks like another love
TKO.
Yeah. So
you ready?
What are your affirmations for this week?
You ready?
My contest.
I don't want to be I don't want to cheat you.
Go ahead.
I want to make sure you're ready before I start. You ready?
Okay. Go ahead. What?
Number 1, I value my counterparts. I value my counterpart.
Oh, she cheated on me.
I value my counterpart.
Part or parts?
My counterpart. Like I don't want to say your. Like if hopefully you only got one. Some people might have 2.
Oh, counter. I don't know.
Like I don't want to say I value my.
What is a counterpart?
Like your other person, like your other half, your counterpart.
Gotcha.
Or your idea of whatever that is. Like if you're single, do you value? If you're a woman, do you value your male counterpart? Or if you like women, do you value whatever your counterpart is?
Society says you single until you have a wedding ring.
Child, I value my counterpart. Child, we gonna get this work this week.
Right.
Second, I see me in others and make alterations as necessary. I see me in others and make alterations as necessary. I see me in others and make alterations as necessary. And the third one is going to match the journal prompt.
My favorite number 3.
Me too. I make smart investments with my energy. I make smart investments with my energy. I make smart investments with my energy.
That's already the one for me already.
It's already the one for me.
Lord, because there's one particular person in my life.
Smart investments.
Trying to take my money, my energy.
Withdraw.
And I have to consciously, intentionally say, nope, not today.
You got to say insufficient funds. Even though that don't mean you ain't got insufficient funds, but in that account.
You send the text say insufficient funds.
That account doesn't
I
have any more.
enough energy to deal with this.
I only put $20 in this account. Did you say that earlier about your savings? Only put $20 of energy in that account. And when that $20 is up, insufficient funds.
Yeah, I don't have the money. I don't have the energy for this.
You didn't got to say that. Insufficient funds.
Insufficient funds.
They're going to be like, what are you talking about? Insufficient funds.
I do not have the energy to purchase this dramatic situation.
On me.
Try back in 2 Fridays. I get paid on Friday. I might have more energy for this then.
I get paid in 2 more self-care Sundays. Maybe I have more energy.
Yep.
Insufficient funds. You do not have enough funds for this transactions. You got to hear them. Listen.
Insufficient funds.
I just feel like, I find it funny how you do not have enough funds for this transaction. Right. Please try again. On next Sunday.
Right. There's a limit. This ATM has a limit that you have exceeded.
You've exceeded your withdrawal limit for the day.
Right.
And they keep texting you have received.
Please try again later.
Please try again in 24 to 48 hours.
Right, because I definitely tried to take $500 out of my account to put it into another account. And they was like, you are trying to withdraw too much money. This exceeds the daily amounts. Try again.
But we got to be like that about our energy.
Yeah, we do.
You have exceeded the daily amount for today.
Right, I've given you $3,000 worth of energy today.
Get the hell out of here.
I don't have anything left for you. Try again in 3 weeks. Whew, boy.
Already, huh, T? T said that's my favorite one already. T gonna put it on the shirt.
I already told y'all about it, but
Insufficient funds.
Insufficient funds. Self-love society.
So, we said it first.
Right. You gotta get some merchandise.
We do.
Oh man. Well, guys, we thank you all for tuning in today.
Yes,
we hope that all the men out there have had a great Father's Day.
Yes,
happy Juneteenth to everybody black.
Yes.
And
it's a black holiday anyway.
It's a black holiday anyway. It's for black people anyway.
It's for black people anyway.
But we want to thank everybody who celebrates.
All of those who are standing in solidarity.
Yes.
Y'all know we goofy. We just kidding.
Playing around. Don't be offended and don't cancel us.
Or
We just joking.
Because we for black people anyway.
Yeah. Yes.
Just kidding.
Yeah. So, you all enjoy your weekend. Do something special for the men in your life.
Do something special.
Do something special. Even if it's just letting them know that you care about them, that you love them.
That you are open ear for them.
Yeah. Sometimes we just be wanting a big old hug. Sometimes we just want to know, like, man, just sit down and watch a movie, spend some quality time. Find out what your dad's love language is, and I want you to speak it.
And you know what it ain't? Ties.
Yeah, we do not care about ties. It's too hot.
And you know what they also
ties.
And you know what they also don't care about? Working for their own day.
Yeah, don't make us go out and barbecue for our own holiday. Don't make us cook dinner for our own holiday.
Let's change the narrative.
Do something for us.
Please.
Take us out. Like I said, find out what your dad's, your father's love language is, and you do your best to speak it to him this Friday.
Yeah, some fathers' love language is quiet ass house.
Yeah.
Get them kids up out of there.
Sometimes it's acts of service.
Shoot.
Sometimes it's quality time. Sometimes maybe physical touch. Maybe words of affirmation or gifts. Find out what your dad's love language is, and I want you to use that to guide you in how you're going to celebrate them on Father's Day.
Yay.
All right. So you all have a good rest of your day and be safe. We love you all.
Bye.
Bye.